I did forget to mention the poll. There's a certain interested party in poll questions that's in our chat, I know. So what's your opinion on Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, covering PulseChain? Do you love it? It's great exposure for Pulse. Hate it? He's dishonest. Or are you just simply neutral and really don't care? So far, most people love it, 63%. I kind of find myself split between the love it. I think I'm probably mostly in the love it, great exposure for Pulse camp, and also a little neutral. Like, I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference to me, but I got to realize if it's something I'm that invested in, it is a good thing. And then only 8% of people are saying hate it, he's dishonest. And well, I didn't want to get into that as a topic yet because that's kind of the meat of our show, but I think we just should because that's what the thumbnail's all about. It's our biggest conversation. I'm going to skip this other garbage we don't really care about and get right to that right now with you, Ewok. So first off, I think I know where you sit, but where do you sit kind of on that poll? And I'll set you up with some other stuff because I got tons of stuff with Ben Armstrong and Wendy O kind of coming into this ecosystem, and Wendy O was on with Corey Costa last week. But where do you fall on that? And what are your thoughts on our poll results so far, Ewok?
So this goes pretty deep.
It does.
For the first thing I have to preface is we all know Ben lost his show, the BitBoy show and all that good stuff, lost a lot of his followers, had to switch to a new channel, all that good stuff. So nobody is naive to think that he isn't trying to build his new channel based on the backs of Hexicans. I hope at the same time people aren't thinking that we're naive enough not to see it. It doesn't mean we both can't scratch each other's back. I'm in favor of it because I know he reaches out to an audience that we don't normally have. I saw that. And, you know, it can't be a bad thing. You know, we've always even said even bad press is good press, right? So anybody that's reaching out that can build an audience like that, to the people, you know, he's still in big with Ripple. I believe he's still in big with Solana. Those types of communities, if he's talking about it a lot, the odds of some of them coming in, it can't hurt. You never know when a developer might see it. If he mentions how cheap it is to develop, it's the same code as Ethereum essentially, but just cheaper, and it's better to run those type of platforms on and things like that. 1-2 developers come over and start building something. That's great, right? You get a whale or two involved. That's great. Now, it's not going to hurt. Like, I don't think he can really say anything worse than what we've dealt with the last 4 or 5 years. That's going to hurt. So, you know, people are just like, yeah, but he's only going to be shilling his coin. You know, okay, fine. You've got to watch out for the Ben coin or whatever he may be pushing. That's fine. It's just like any other influencer that is on any other channel. You know, Ivan on Tech is a great example. He's been talking about this stuff for a while, but he covers other things. So again, there's no difference. Wendy has had Richard on her stream. They've talked, you know, we had Corey Costa just had her on. I don't mind Wendy. All of these people are touching a different audience that we may not. Exposure is good. So I'm perfectly fine with it. You know, like I said, a developer or a whale or two come into this network and it was well worth it. So, you know, he's looking for a new home. I mean, you know, I don't know how well the XRP people treat him. I'm not sure. I see some negative comments a lot when he posts things from everybody. I mean, he's definitely burned some bridges, but you know, he always will have his regular followers too. So I'm in favor of it. We just kind of, you know, got to keep our guards up against anything malicious. I don't think he's up to anything malicious. And as long as, you know, he's onboarding new people and there's new wallets being created every day, what can it hurt? It's, you know, I think it's good.
I'm totally with you. And yeah, I mean, you know, Ben obviously has an interesting past. And, you know, Crypto Coffee just the other day. And again, like you said here, there's so many elements to this and we're going to get to all of them. But Coffee was just on with Dane and Corey Geary the other day, and it was a really good interview. And he divulged. So here's the other big thing. He kind of divulged after Corey Costa had Wendy O on. Apparently, there was some sort of private meeting of the minds between Ben, Wendy O, Corey, and Corey Costa, and Crypto Coffee.
Mhm.
And Coffee was on with Corey Geary, too many Corys, Corey Geary and Dane the other day. And he basically said a couple of things that they all I mean, just the fact that they all met together like that is awesome. But basically, he said that some of their plans were working together to get like, because Richard Hart's talked about this and tweeted about it recently, but get like a USDC or Tether, talk to somebody involved with USDC to get it natively launched on PulseChain. I guess that was one of the topics of conversation that they talked about, Coffee said, among other things. I'm sure a lot of it was just purely these ideas that Ben has around content creation purely. He's talked about like just a, I guess he doesn't know we're out here, but just talking about like a HEX or a PulseChain only podcast, which we've been doing for 2.5 years or so.
Right.
But it's fine. People know and like Ben. Well, they know him anyway, more than us. So, I'm in favor of it. I'm glad he's doing all this stuff. And he knows it's a big community and he's trying to tap into it. He's talking to some of the major players. He even said that he was interested in having some of the best, he relied on our community to tell him like, hey, who would it be good to have on, and I'm sure we would recommend, Funding Jim, Rags. I mean, I could go on and on with the amount of people have on. But yeah, what do you make of some of those ideas from Ben? And then also this whole idea, I want your take on this, but this documentary idea. On how, like, why HEX is not a security and going through the Howey test stuff. I know I'm throwing everything at you, but as you said, there's so many angles. So what are all your thoughts on these things?
I did forget one thing that he had talked about too, and that was CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, getting it listed properly. That was one of his missions as well. He's brought it up several times on stream, showing what the market cap is and where it technically should be ranked. That was another big thing that would have a huge impact. As far as the documentary, man, I don't know if he's qualified to be doing that. We have a great documentary out there. His is a little bit different in the line of like you said, proving that HEX isn't a security. I don't know if he's qualified to speak on that. I mean, we all are. We all know what the Howey test is. We know, we've all determined that it fails legs of the Howey. Therefore, it's not a security. Let's let the judge and all that rule on that situation. Again, anything with more eyes, it can't hurt, right? I mean, unless there's a bunch of misinformation. And that's why I was really glad when I heard him say, well, who should I be talking to? Who are the best people so that I can get my facts straight and learn about this stuff? I don't know if you saw today, but he posted a lot of screen shares, which I'm not always a fan of showing conversations that have happened with people in the past, but how they really just didn't want him talking about it. So, again, we'll give the guy a chance. We'll keep up our guard at the same time. But yeah, I'm in favor of it all, man. Anything that he can do to help out, whether it be getting it listed properly on the ranking sites or just getting the word out there. I like the fact that he's trying, at least. So, he's trying to rebrand. Let's help him out. We need to help these people. I know people are very guarded. People don't want to let these people who've spoken badly in the past into the community or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. We're at the point now where we are a layer one. We are not protecting people. It's not our job to say, oh, you should really stay away from that. You're going to get wrecked. It's a layer one. You're going to have scams and it's going to happen. And people need to just learn their lessons about what real crypto is, what real DeFi is. We have some very good things out there, like the Pulse Police. They will audit contracts. They look at things and they tell you if there's red flags. If there's red flags, maybe stay away, or throw your money in. It's up to you. I mean, we can't stop people from making bad choices. And that's another reason why I think eventually, back to what we were saying earlier, people will funnel back to Hex. That hashtag Hex user unaffected is very popular, and it will come back when people start getting wrecked on stupid things, shiny object syndrome, and they'll find their way home.